8 million tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Somehow we need to stop its motion. Where do we start? What can I do? Reduce, reuse, recycle, and put on the creative shoe.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of our NuOceans podcast. I'm Flavio, and I'll be hosting it today. And I have the great pleasure of being here with Andreas, also known as the Thetrashtraveler. So welcome, Andreas. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Hello, and thank you, Flavio, and thank you, NuOcean, for inviting me here for the first episode of the podcast. It's a pleasure to be here and the first trial.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, I mean, you have a really cool backstory. You've done really amazing things, gone from studying at Cambridge and working in biology and health and oncology, and then you kind of dumped all of that and moved to Portugal. So from Germany, I believe, all the way to Portugal to live in a van and start cleaning up the beaches and traveling south to north or north to south and picking up stuff and engaging with people on the way. I mean, tell us a bit about that. How is that? Why did you decide to do that? What's inspired you and what's it like?
Yeah, okay. Pretty nice summary, I think. And yeah, as you said, I was studying biology. I was always interested in human health. And that's why I'm also a molecular and human biologist. I was working in cancer, oncology. I was working on the respiratory field, like many different diseases related to the human health. And that was always my whole life one trigger for me to do something good for us humans. And that's why I also was studying that. I did that until last year, like 8 months is it now ago, and yeah, I was going a little bit more into the medical field, and I was consulting doctors and pharmacists, and that was all related to our health. And in the same time, I was working in that field. I was always pretty conscious about our environment. So as you said already, I moved into my campervan. So I had a really interesting life while I was working and dressing up my suit, going out of my van and going to the office to work there. And after that, I enjoyed nature, and basically nature became my living room. For me, I love to surf. I love the ocean. That's why I also moved to Portugal to find my life in here. And that was always connected to the environment. And I was trying in my van, as you are like surrounded by nature, you're trying to reduce your footprint. You're trying to reduce the plastic what you're buying, like from the daily consumption. I was trying to refuse to go to the supermarket, and was trying to, if I have to go to the supermarket, to reduce the plastic what I was buying and consuming. So like over the past few years, I got even always a little bit more intense into the topic. And as I lived in the van, and basically every minute outside of my work, I was in the nature, I was at the beaches, I was in the ocean, and you're confronted with the issue all the time, basically. Like everywhere where I was driving, sometimes I was driving for let's say 1 hour away from even a little village, totally into the nature, and I was thinking, okay, I don't find any trash in here. Well, you arrive anywhere and you find the footprint of us humans. And as I said, I was always connected to human health. I was rethinking that, and I had a really nice career perspective in the biomedical industry, but I also got into that point where everything is related, basically. Like if you do something against diseases and you do research or you do medical consulting, it is for the human health, but the same belongs also to our environment. And that's basically the base for us humans to live on healthy. And if we start and keep on polluting and destroying our really, really important ecosystem, this is the healthy base what we need to live, and this is also preventing diseases basically in the end. So I'm kind of still working in my field, but I'm tackling the issue from another point of view. And that's why I can still say to myself, yeah, I'm working for the good sake I was always trying to work for. And yeah, so then I decided, yeah, this went so extreme in my mind. Every time, like when you grab your surfboard and you are basically in the waves and you're surrounded by plastic items which are just floating around, sometimes, especially in winter, it looks horrible. And Portugal, compared to some other countries in this world, is kind of okay in comparison.
Yeah, like
And
Europe.
yeah, exactly. Europe is kind of okay, but in Asia, for example, if you travel there, it's like times and times the increase of the amount what you find in the water and at the beaches. So I said, yeah, no, I want to do something against that, and that's why I said, yeah, I combine all my pleasures, all my skills, to do something or to start doing something against that. In the beginning, I didn't even know where I want to go exactly. And so I took my ukulele. I like to play music. I took my skills in the digital world, so I wanted to produce videos. And yeah, I started to travel because I'm in my camper van and I love to traveling. All this combined with the scientific knowledge, this is one package for the Thetrashtraveler. And yeah, that's how I got to that point to say, I just travel for now. Every day I go out, pick up plastic at beaches, anywhere, even along the roads. I was just stopping and create awareness via social media. And this is the journey. And let's see where it ends up.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty cool. That's really amazing. You know, dropped everything to keep following your passion. Because I mean, I'm quite similar as well. I studied at Imperial College, not Cambridge, and I also had a full track career in research, and mine was a lot more analysis and statistics and so on. And I was the same thing. I wanted to study the environment, but then I dumped everything and went on this journey. And you've gone in a different journey, but it's a really cool journey. Because I mean, the first time we discovered about you, you were really small and just getting started, and you created this really beautiful Instagram account with all these cool songs and videos, and the stuff you create online is really impactful and really amazing. And we've seen you've grown really quickly on social media compared to a lot of accounts, and that's really cool. And yeah, I think just the authentic way you're doing it and connecting to what's important to you is why it works and why it's a really beautiful thing you're doing.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, on that vibe, what would be your top 3 pieces of advice for people who want to help clean the oceans?
Okay, to clean the ocean.
Yeah, people who are conscious, conscious about plastic, like you, conscious about the environment and pollution specifically.
Yeah, so I was also asking that question for myself like a lot of times, because you start also, if you go into a journey like that, you start doubting your acts. What impact are you doing as an individual? However, that is for everyone out there a very good advice. Start picking up just on the go and start caring a little bit around yourself. It's just like a very, very small impact what you're thinking. But if you think that we have 8 billion people on this earth, if everybody would do that, that would be like a massive amount. And I like to always say, like, you're one person, and if you do go to the beach, even like just pick up one plastic item or 2 or 3, it doesn't matter where it is. First of all, you're getting a really good conscious that you do something good. It feels amazingly good if you just pick up some stuff and you didn't do anything else than walking and bending over and get one more piece. And this little action doesn't feel that big, but maybe there are some people around you, even 20 or 30 meters away, and they're thinking, what is this guy doing? Is he picking up something? So they start thinking about it. And this is the nice journey of inspiring people in a passive way. So you can start with that. Just like sometimes if you see something, it's not yours, but it's
Mhm.
your environment, it's your world, so you can pick up something and just carry it to the next trash bin. And like this, in an ideal world, it would affect more and more people, and at some point we have everybody affected by this message, so everybody would just pick up some items, and that would be beautiful to see, and that's what we all, I think, want to create in with raising awareness in social
Yeah,
media.
yeah, for
So
sure.
that is the first thing. And yeah, if you go further, try to look at your own lifestyle. Try to find alternatives step by step, and very small steps you have to go, I think, to create new habits, to live a little bit more sustainable. And it's very easy sometimes to change something essential. For example, I always like the idea of the banana. A banana has a natural skin, and I see in the supermarket that so many people are putting it still in a plastic bag, and I just don't understand that move. But I'm not judging, and I'm not in that uh, point of thinking. For me, it's just normal to not put it into a plastic
Yeah,
bag. And if you just think, and every day or like once a week, just like look how many plastic items you take in your hand along your day, and try to replace them like one after the other, and you feel good because you know, okay, I'm not producing that much plastic, because this can never be recycled and never be like yeah, brought into another plastic product. So if we know about the details behind that, we put it in the recycling bin, but only 14% or
yeah,
effectively 2% of plastic will get recycled. And that is impressive. And with small changes, you can like do something good, even for our sustainable world. And yeah, the third thing is like connecting everything. Talk to your family, to your friends, and discuss this problem, or yeah, this problem, or your steps, your personal steps, with your beloved ones. And they have other friends, they have other people who are they interacting with, and just place that thought of a sustainable living and of picking up some trash in their minds. They start automatically to think about it, and if you do it with positivity, then people start really think about it. That's my third advice, to discuss and to not to point the finger, but
mm.
to talk about the issue with positivity and like with facts, but in a very nice way to
Yeah,
interact with.
yeah. It's very important to share what you're doing versus criticizing others for what they're not
Exactly.
doing. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a fine line between the two, but it makes a world of difference when
Oh
you
yeah.
engage in
Yeah.
one and not the other. Yeah, that's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, especially the problem of cigarette butts, what most people don't really even have in mind, that it contains basically plastic and toxins,
Mm.
and it's such an habit for most of the smokers to throw it away. And I have like a lot of friends of mine are still doing it because it's a habit, and I'm trying to talk and to talk and to talk and to educate. That's the only way to get people on changing, and
Yeah,
also to understand the issue actually. Yeah.
yeah. To get people to see and then start breaking habits, it's the hardest thing, breaking habits for sure. So,
Exactly, it
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
just gone through a really weird time with this whole lockdown and coronavirus situation and so on. What would be one main takeaway lesson that you've had from this experience?
Yeah. So the main takeaway message, I think, is we are seeing right now what impact it has once we shut down our whole economy,
Yeah.
basically, and we see the impact what we are doing on daily basis to our nature, and to our planet to live on. We're seeing now those satellite pictures with the air quality is improving during lockdown, and I see quite often like this post in social media. Yeah, finally the environment like gets something back.
Hmm.
However, this is I think only an alarm sign to see and to open the eyes for us humans to see what are we doing to this planet. And this is the call. Like after COVID, we should not go back to the normal what we had. We should
Yeah.
go and try to improve our living, to make a better treatment to the planet, basically. Otherwise, we continue that, and we just had the effect. Okay, for a couple of months we had a break, but we go back, and climate crisis and plastic pollution, it goes along together. Will just get worse and get worse, and that is, I think, a very important thing to even emphasize the need of responsible and sustainable living, even for us individuals, because we all can make impact from bottom up. And if we decide all to pressure companies by buying sustainable products, by being more responsible, we even like put that thought into companies, into other authorities, so the pressure is there to change something efficiently, and we as individuals, we can make an impact for sure.
Yeah, this is our chance to actually create something new instead of trying to catch up the time we lost with these last few months and start burning even more than we were before. It's really important that we take this time that we had to kind of think and look at where we've arrived and take a different path. I totally agree with what you just said. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. And in an ideal world, what is the impact you would like to leave? You know, when all is said and done for you, what's the impact you would want to have seen that you left on the world?
That is a very nice question. I like to dream as well. However, let's start with that. Like I'm really happy with just seeing maybe one person every day being inspired to also pick up some trash. That is the most beautiful message. If I'm getting feedback and if someone is saying, "Hey, thank you for inspiring me," and from now on I also picked up some trash, and it felt beautifully. And this is the start, and that's the way which I would like to see for the whole world, basically. That we just care a little bit, and we care for our environment in our local area, and this creates, like, it's a start for a whole movement into a circular economy, and like to produce or to close the circle and to care that we don't produce so much trash, and this trash what we are producing, we're trying to reuse and recycle and repurpose as much as we can. And I think this is a whole movement right now also into like the circular and economy, also as you guys are doing. That's why I appreciate that as well with your project of the flip-flops. That is exactly a way to raise awareness and also to produce something actually which makes a circle, and that is very important, I think.
To create a new society, a new economy, and a new society in which we all care about our environment, the people around us, because, you know, the environment, a lot of the time we think about the environment separate from people, but that's a big thing, is that the environment is with people, and we need to create a society where we care about our environment, our neighbors, and the impact we all have together. I think that's totally a beautiful message.
Exactly. Yeah. That is the impact, because that is what I learned and what I took away from me. If we destroy our planet, then we destroy the base for ourselves to live, and that's why it's so important to not only care for others in the society. If you care for the planet, you also passively care for others as well. So that is like going along together. So if we tackle all that together, we can create something beautiful, I think.
Yeah, you're totally right. Before we wrap up, is there anything you would like to add, or some content like a film, a book, or YouTube channel that you would like to share with the audience?
So yeah, if you want, wait, first we can play a song.
Oh yeah, go ahead. That's a good idea. Great idea.
I think the song, yeah, that's exactly how I do it. Always like with positivity and stuff like that. And that's why the ukulele must be always part of it.
That's great.
So let's
It's a
bring
very
that
colorful
also
ukulele as
into the
well.
podcast. Sorry?
It's a very colorful ukulele as well.
Yeah, if you're gonna check the Instagram, I also have some pictures and videos with the ukulele, and that's also my point of view, to collect plastic and to do something with it. So that's why I glued basically all the microplastic on my ukulele,
Oh
and
yeah, that's cool.
we used the trash to make it actually even more beautiful. And now it's like my ukulele you can't see, but now it looks even happier. And people start to see, oh, okay, well, that is really plastic all on it. Yeah, that's the message what we want to give. And also with the flip-flops, that's the message, like
Yeah.
we reuse
Yeah.
what we find to bring a solution.
Cool. Now take it away.
8 million tons of plastic end up in the ocean. Somehow we need to stop its motion. Where do we start? What can I do? Reduce, reuse, recycle, and put on the creative shoe. That's a very, very short song.
No, that's great.
But
That's perfect. Thank you so
that's
much for
perfect
sharing.
purpose, yeah.
Great. Now, before I let you go, just shout out the best ways for our listeners to find you. Like, where do they follow you? Where do they get in touch? What's the best way for someone who wants to get involved or learn more about what you're doing? How do they find you?
So the main platform is Instagram. I was using that, and 8 months ago I didn't even know how to use Instagram. So that's very exciting still for me. I'm on YouTube a little bit. I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Facebook as well. Always Thetrashtraveler. You can find me there. And yeah, right now it's Instagram. However, I'm planning to add that maybe. I'm planning a bigger project right now to set out a teaser. I will walk the whole coast of Portugal. It's 832 kilometers in a row starting this summer. And I'm cooperating with as many marine organizations as possible to make local cleanups on the way. So we bring the whole coast of Portugal into the capital of Lisbon to make a huge trash mountain, and to raise as much as awareness as possible. So for that, if you're gonna check out the YouTube and the Instagram, that will be the main base to follow that journey. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what will be created in that adventure. That will be something bigger.
Cool.
And if you want to help, I'm happy for donations as well, to keep on running and to make this journey a little bit possible. But I'm doing it anyway for free. And I'm just happy for a bit support, yeah. But
Yeah.
just check out the Instagram and YouTube, Facebook, yeah, that's it.
That's great. That's really amazing. So that's Thetrashtraveler with only one L. Don't make the same mistake as me. Thetrashtraveler, and you'll find it on Instagram, YouTube, and it's a really cool account. So go check it out. Anyway,
thank you very much.
Andreas, thank you so much for being here with us today. It was really great having a chat with you, and I wish you all the best. Thanks for all of our listeners who are also here, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Perfect. Thank you very much for having me.